All right. Hello, collective. Grand Rising Rahubot. Welcome in. We're going to be doing a little reading today. It is snow. Wow, it's actually a lot of snow now that I'm looking. Holy shit. Awesome. Anyway, there's a lot of snow outside. I like it. We don't get snow that much. I mean, sometimes we do, but you know, regardless, it's snowing. And I felt like doing a little reading. Um, it's funny because I have the window open. I'm just not cold. I, regardless, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that all day because I'm just in a gown, so I'm not even wearing anything really. Regardless, with the beginning of the reading, we had the Ten of Swords. Um, mental clarity. Um, there is a lot of mental clarity. I'm getting there. I'm here. There's a plan that's working out. There's a plan that's working out that you keep getting almost a little bit stressed out about, but it's nothing you like can't shush away. This could also be a bunch of things that are coming together and you're feeling all that energy, but you've got to this point of mastery in yourself to where you're no longer beating yourself up over it. There's all these thoughts that you may be feeling and all these things that you may be experiencing, but you're not in the energy of pressing yourself in on those things. Now we do have the Ace of Cups reverse. um there is a lack of doing what you need to do. So like even though you are doing everything that you desire to do, there's some things that you need to do. There are some things that you're not allowing thoughts to destroy, but at the same time, you're not paying attention to what you truly desire and feel inside of you to do, whatever's nurturing you. There's a lack of nourishment. There's all these thoughts of, oh, I'm not, everything is going well, but there's this residual fear, is how they're telling me. And take fear as it is. Fear isn't, we'll talk about it um, at some point when I get more notes on it, but don't just take fear as a one major emotion. Every emotion has little other emotions attached to it that you have to feel in order for it to be. It's all a chemical reaction that goes on. So even though you might not feel a form of residual fear, there is something blocking you from being able to actually nurture yourself. That's coming from a lack mindset, a fear of not having enough, or something of that nature. So really pay attention to that. um heavily pay attention to that, because there's something. I feel like there's a good there's a mission. I mean, I don't want to say a mission, but I guess it's coming out. There's a completion of a mission is what I was really going to say, but there's something that's being completed at this time. And the anxiety that's around you, the feelings of, oh, it's just going to work out, what's going on, and that's happening around you, are there to show you almost like what's going on inside of you that you need to take care of. These could be putting off plans like, oh, I'll do all these things once I get this, and that you're not needing to be in that mindset. You need to move forward and actually do what you need to do so that you're not stuck in the new environment with extra duties to still complete, right? That's what I'm getting. Yeah, with the Nine of Wands reverse, this is really interesting because everything's coming out in reverse. So it's like I would be very careful. You might feel a little bit backwards. You might feel like things are taking a bit too long, or taking their time too much, and you need an immediate answer or a reply. So be very careful of that. But with the Nine of Wands reverse, there's not a need to have fear. There's not a need to feel like you're out of time. Um, and as well, for some, if you are planning on doing something that had like a time constraint, right now would not be a time to do it. Right now would be a little bit too much pressure. Right now would be a little bit too much of a close call. that would just cause issues moving forward. So being very careful of that. Yeah, right now you're kind of in between two realms, the Two of Pentacles. You're kind of just juggling back and forth between what you're desiring and what you want to do. And it's all based off of your thoughts. So you're looking at things like, I'll use the snow outside for an example. Let's say it's like, oh, I want to go out and go get something to eat. Well, it's snowing, so I can't. So instead of nurturing yourself and getting something to eat, you're just like, oh, I'm not going to do anything, yada, yada, yada. However, that is, right? And you're using it based off your thoughts, based off of thinking like, oh, it's snowing outside, so I can't. Even though you could, and there's other possibilities, like per se, you could cook something, or there's like something within like a quick walkable distance that you could just buckle up for and go and walk there. However, all these things are present, and you're almost juggling between those two realms. Now, it doesn't have to be that simple. It can be way more than that. It could be a moving, looking for places to go. However this is for you, right? But you're juggling in between the two realms of it's possible, but I can't because external circumstance, maybe even an internal circumstance. Maybe you're just not feeling like you're able to get up and do those things, right? Maybe there's a need for extra nourishment. There is a need for relaxation, for really focusing on what you desire to do. Um, Starting up a new project as well that almost you're putting too much focus on or too much energy in, that's not allowing it to blossom on its own. Regardless, with the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Hangman upright, you're going the right way. And then even with the Page of Cups on the bottom, there's a new energy around you. It's like you're listening to yourself in a new way. You're trying to move forward in a new way. Everything's working out for you. You're manifesting the way that you need to, but there is this energy of letting go. And this is why that Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups are both in reverse. This is that juggling. You know things are going well, but you aren't letting go. This could even be a creative endeavor where you're putting too much pressure on a project or putting too much pressure on something instead of having fun. You know, thinking ahead of time and being like, oh, people aren't going to like this, people aren't going to like that. However, with your art or whatever this is, not doing that, allowing yourself to really open your eyes a little bit more and be like, this is my art and my craft, and I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't like it. Now, let's say you're like a dancer, right? And you're trying a new dance routine. And it's like, oh, I don't, no one's going to like this dance, or no one's going to like the song I'm choosing for this dance. It's your craft. Even if it's like you were asked to go there, or even if you got accepted there, right? Doesn't matter. You're there. They're needing that new energy. And there's something about you doing something new that's a little bit different from what you did. And you're just like, oh, are people going to like this? Am I going to have to go back? Don't worry about that. Change is inevitable. You're always going to change. And even if you choose the same path, even though you're on the same path, what you're doing then is you're changing your chemical reaction. Now you're changing yourself to be more robotic rather than human. More, I need to do all these things rather than being what I need to do for myself. There is a need for gratitude at this time. There is a need for you to really let go, show gratitude, see the beauty in everything. Um, Seeing how far you've actually made it. There's a celebration. There is a celebration on the horizon. I'm getting that heavily. There is a celebration, some sort of party, some sort of outing, some sort of just like cake. I'm just hearing cake. There is a celebration. There's also something about a passed over family member that had a birthday. I'm getting that heavily. Someone could have passed away in 2019. Someone could have been 91. Um, 2012. Something about January the 4th. Someone's birthday was on January the 4th. It feels like a passed over loved one's birthday was on a January the 4th, is what I'm getting. Or there was someone who was like, maybe this could be 1991 is when they passed away as well. However, but there's a family member that had a birthday recently within these past, few weeks, that's been around you, and they've been trying to show you how proud of are how proud of you they are. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak. And they really need you to stay grounded at this time. There's something about using a birthday wish for you almost. You know what I mean? Like there's a blessing coming towards you, but you have to go through this drought period first. There's a new energy that you're entering. So now things from the old paradigm are crumbling away, Now this new one's coming in. There's a need to really reinforce yourself, really a need to nurture yourself. Really allow yourself to see, like, there is a celebration coming up. I'm really getting that. And with the Nine of Pentacles, with the snail on the card and everything and all the grapes, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the snail, but it's right there. You can look up the card as well and see it. Um, but there's a whole celebration that's literally on its way. There's just a need to really focus focus on that aspect. Sorry, I have my phone as extra lighting. I'm trying to like get it better, but who cares? We're good. There's like, yeah, you're just not seeing the beauty around you with the Queen of Pentacles reverse. That's why you're needing to detach heavily. There's this energy of going through so many things, jumping over so many hurdles. You know, this is like a new beginning, but the same old ending is what it's giving. Like that same old energy's popping up, like, oh, all these things are happening, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. And you're doing those things. And this is what's causing this new beginning because you're doing something differently. But it's that same energy of loss, of lack, of losing something, right? That's trying to cling itself onto you. It's leaving room for almost a weakness, almost a weak point, but it's showing you how grand things are about to actually get for you. Yeah, with the Sun and the Hierophant, these two cards have been wanting to come out a lot together recently. With the Sun and the Hierophant, allow yourself to really see the power, the control that you're having over the situation. There's something about, like, even though those old energies are coming up, there's still like a very grounded over knowing, like, yeah, this is fine, everything's good. I'm able to do this. Yeah, with strength on the bottom, you're able to actually tame your thoughts this time. And that's something that you may not might not be noticing. You might be stuck in this cycle of, oh, like, is it going to work, is it not going to work? One day you're like, yeah, it's going to work perfectly, and then 3 days go by and you're like, is it still going to work? And you're still keeping that faith up. Good. With the Magician, you're creating this new energy around you. You are literally living this new life, in this new energy. You're taking the ideas, the advice that the divine's giving you from above, and you're putting it down below. So like, really, really, really overstand that. There is this grander energy that is around you, though. Like, there is this huge I'm just saying, there's a celebration. I can't stop feeling it. It's like you're gonna get your flowers finally. You're about to jump. Like, it's a very beautiful energy, but you're really about to jump through like a portal, basically, and just go into a whole new life. And you've done all the right. It's like you've done everything right. I don't know who needs to hear that, but you've done everything right. You've done everything from the list down. You've done that. You've done that. You've done that. You've sent in your information. You're just sitting around waiting and waiting. And during that waiting time, the divine's been giving you things to keep your mind busy, and you've been doing those things to keep your mind busy, so you're not, so focused on things not working out. But that thought, that energy, is still around you in the back of your mind, and it's cleaning out. It's clearing out. This is a lot of sacral chakra energy, is what I'm getting. A lot of sacral chakra energy that you're needing to pay attention to. You're needing to listen to your sacral chakra now. There's something about the way you're going to be moving forward, this new creation that you're still working on, that you're still obtaining, that the divine's like, hey, work on this, do this. Let's work on these things now. Let's take our mind away from this one thing and jump to another. I feel like that's really what the divine wants you to see at this point, because things are really working out. Give me a second. All right. But yeah, it's like you're just listening to a newer part of your body. You're learning how to actually listen to what you're desiring rather than what your thoughts are trying to create around you, right? So really overstand that. Really, really do your best to overstand that. Yeah, okay. So, as well, with the Ace of Wands and the Ten of Wands, which is very interesting, you might feel a bit overwhelmed by all the ideas that you're getting. This might be a bunch of projects on the horizon, or an older project even that has been continuously running in the background that you're kind of done with, and there's this freeing of yourself. This might be your last time doing something as well, and I don't feel like this is a bad thing. I feel like this, like, oh, like I'm a performer, this is my last time performing, or like I'm I don't know, like I'm a musician, it's gonna be like the last song I make or however, right? That's causing a bunch of stress as well. It's like this letting go energy. You've let go so much that now this new cycle is asking you to let go of a few more things, because you're needing to let go. You're needing to sacrifice something so you can go further on ahead of your path. So you're lighter, right? And I feel like that's what you're getting, is you're seeing how busy you are. You're seeing how many things you actually have to do. You're starting to see everything that you've built around you, and it's like it's everything that you want, but now you're deciding, like, do I even have the time for all this? And this is that sacral chakra energy where you listen to it and just allow yourself to be creative. Don't burden yourself with these ideas either. Don't be so hard on yourself with these ideas. Don't say like, oh, I would love to do this, and then start doing it and then start, feeling all panicked and feeling like a failure. You're able to do what you desire to do. There's just so much ideas. You're being faced with so much right now, and you're not letting your thoughts to get rid of, you're not letting the swords start stabbing you all over the place. Your own thoughts hurt you, so that's good. But there's this lack of cups. Everything is so physical. Everything is so like, you're not focusing like on nourishing yourself. And I feel like this nourishment is coming from your inner child need to express itself in an artistic way, just creating something, just making something, just feeling something new. This could even be you working way too much and you need to like have fun. And some of y'all are trying to have fun, but the fun that you're receiving just is not fun. Or it's like when you're trying to relax, it's like, oh, how am I going to relax? Do I want to watch this, or do I want to watch this, or do I want to watch this? And all those, like, what do I want to do? And you overwhelm yourself by like, oh, I could do this or I could do that. And it's like, I don't want to do any of this now. Let me just go back to working because that's too hard. Like, you're making a decision to have fun can sometimes be a little bit difficult. And I feel like that's what's going on as well. Like, what do you want to do that's going to actually allow you to have fun, right? Like, that's the question that they're asking you. That's the question that you need to be asking yourself, is like, what's preventing me from actually having the fun that I want? I just heard switch tabs. There's something about switch. You're like, look at something. Really, really, really look at what's going on. Look at the transitions that you're making. Look at where you're going next. Look at all the work that you've put in at this time. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just absorb. Can't speak. I hate speech impediments, but it's whatever. We deal with them. Don't absorb them. Observe them. There we go. We'll get those words out. But look at what's going on. Always allow yourself to really see the truth for what it is of your situation. Look at all the thoughts that used to beat you down. Look at how you're moving past them. But also at the same time, you're moving past them so quickly, almost so bullheadedly, I'll even say, dare I say, even, you know, that you're not paying attention to that feminine side of you. But just know everything's working out with the Nine of Cups, the genie in the bottle. Your wishes are coming true. There is this gratification that's on the horizon, but you're needing to, like, with the Empress on the bottom and the Eight of Wands on the top, like, go nourish. Something's coming in a lot quicker than you think. Now this literally might be the divine telling you, hey, rest, because out of nowhere everything's going to happen. It is going to be boom, you get approved. Boom, you have like 2 days to get up and go. Boom, you get there. Everything's fine. You get there, then you have XYZ to do while you're there. And then it's like there's going to be like a lot of work that you actually need to do to keep you stable and afloat within the future of this new era that you're in. And the divine's really just telling people to like relax and rest for that. And for those who are already in the energy of working on those things, keep going through. Be sure to nourish yourself though. Don't be so stressed out like, oh, what if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? Well, what if? You're not going to know because you're not going to respond the exact same way that you plan right now anyway, because right now you're not even in that situation. You're in a panicked mode where you're assuming everything. So detach, let go, and just let the divine, let Allah move you forward, and let them show you what you need to do. That's all you have to do is just let go and really let the divine take care of it. With the star, it's like the center of the, like, you're like, you need to center yourself. You need to be a little bit more self-centered within yourself. You need to really ground yourself and see things for as they are, grounding yourself, and again, not being bound, releasing that bondage, releasing the overstimulation of your senses and the lack of stimulation to the feminine side of your feelings, what actually brings you joy. Because in the deep depths of everything, with the moon and the ten of cups, it's your subconscious, with deep inside of you, you already know that you've done it. You already know that you're about to hit the most beautiful chapter of your life. You already know it. You're literally right there. You're literally there. But it hasn't come physically yet. This is just a strong feeling you have of, like, yeah, everything's gonna work out. I've done everything I need to do. I've crossed my I's, I've crossed my T's, dotted my I's, and everything's going well. But you know this internally. There's just an external output that's not the same. And this is that overthinking, that stress output that you might be in, even that fear output of, oh, what if it doesn't work and I have to do all these other things? Well, let that happen. Maybe there's something else that you need to do. Maybe there's somewhere else that you need to be. You know what I mean? Really just allowing yourself to see it from that. Because right now, with even though you're deflecting all those past thoughts, there's a new cloud that's kind of covering up your mind. There's new thoughts, like, oh, what am I going to do when I get here? I've never been here before. I've never done these things before. Yeah. And it's like you're holding on too tight because you're afraid of a past experience happening again, just because of the same speed. But again, it's a new chapter, same ending. So you're just going through the same ending again that you've already prepared yourself to handle, but it's leading you to a brand new beginning. It's just very slow. So don't betray yourself by not listening to your thoughts. You might be holding on to something too tightly that you already know you need to let go of as well. Or maybe you need to hold on tighter. Maybe you need to have more trust in yourself, more trust in the divine, that they did lead you the right way. Whoever you subscribe to as the divine, making sure that you're actually following those rules, following those the guides that they've set. Yeah, I mean, here we go. Your higher self is even saying that things are happening quickly. Your higher self has been trying to communicate to you. It's not even be your higher self has been communicating to you a lot more recently, because they're trying to tell you, hey, everything's going good. And they've been saying that. And it's just knowing, once you know that, once you get that to you, it's about trusting that. Even asking your higher self, give me a sign if that's really for me. And then waiting for that sign. All these things, do that, because this is what the divine really wants you to pay attention to. Is things are moving very quickly in your life, but you're believing it is what you're doing. You're not trusting it, you're just believing it. It's like, oh yeah, everything's gonna be fine, and then you sit within that belief for so long, it starts to fall apart because you no longer know if it is or not. You're just running off of blind faith, which is a belief, right? So really understand that. Really, really, really look in deep when it comes to that. We're going to pull out the shadow. We're going to pull out the shadows. What's going on in the shadows, spirit? We're not going to take any reversals. So what's going on with the shadow, with this energy? What's going on in the shadow, spirit? We have avarice, which is 60. So materialism, payness, bureaucracy, obduracy, dissatisfaction, lust for material goods, misery, dishonest financial transactions, spiritual poverty, necessity for spiritual awakening. So there's something about not, it's like so we're gonna talk about this right now. So many people make money an idol because they go, oh, I can't do this without money. Oh, I can't do this or that without money. How am I supposed to do anything without money? You're idolizing money instead of the Most High. which is where you're falling down on. And this is part of your spiritual awakening where you don't need to be so dependent on money. Now, that doesn't mean you don't need money to survive, obviously, but to put so much stress and constraint on money without just knowing, like, I'm going to be fine, the divine's going to protect me, everything's going to be good, that is what's breaking you down. That's that spiritual awakening you need to have, is understanding that when you idolize something, you then have a fear of not having it anymore, right? So, what are you idolizing? And I even made a little video. This is so, like, thank you, Spirit. The classes that they're not the classes, but the new uh, uh, thing I have on the channel, the new series about the spiritual traumas. The first one we did was about idols. So go watch that video. If this reading's resonating with you, go watch the video I did on the spiritual traumas for idols. This is it's gonna really help you um, in like a whole scene of things. It's going to help you on the spiritual sense, knowing you spiritual idols, but understanding as well, like money is a spiritual idol. And there's a lot of materialism. This could even be like needing to move somewhere. Oh, I can't do this until I move somewhere. Why are you idolizing that other location instead of just doing it now? You can do it now. You have the idea to do it now, but you think that you can't until you're at a new area. This is that whole energy that you need to pay attention to. This is what the divine is trying to show you, like, hey, this is that past cycle that you need to break free from, because it's not as true as you actually think it is. You're just allowing yourself to trick yourself at that point. So understand that. And you might be like, I don't know how to, because you're so overwhelmed by everything around you that you're not actually taking time to focus on that, to focus on what you need to do. So focusing on what you need to do, not focusing on what you lack, but focusing on the ideas that you already have and moving forward with those. You don't need money for everything. You know, that's the whole trick that you're kind of stuck in at this time. If you're in that energy, it's something that you need to know. Like, there was a time before we even like had money, there's people who literally don't have any money at all, and then go around and go on vacation and are negative in debt, and then they go, I'll find a way to make up the money, and then they make up the money. That those people exist. Why can't you do that? There's something of that. There's something where you're not overstanding your own ins and outs, of who you are, of what you're capable of doing, due to some sort of a fear or a lack or however. But we have the embodiment of evil, which is instability, cruelty, rudeness, aggression, humiliation, tyranny, injustice, brawler or aggressor, inflictor of an injury, disruption, or a crisis point. So there is some instability. There's a lot of instability within it, and it's, again, this just need to nurture yourself. This is why there's barely any cups. The only cups that came out was the Nine of Cups, and that was just saying everything's going good. The only other cup in there that we pulled out was the Ace of Cups reverse. You need to nurture yourself. This is Mars energy. Guess what's in retrograde? Mars. Nurture what you have on the physical already. You have a small business and it's not going anywhere. Why are you giving up on it? Keep going. And here's the thing, I'm going to have to preface this as well. Not everyone has the luxury or grew up in the luxury to just be a quitter. And I'm going to say it like that because it's the truth. A lot of people did not grow up. A lot of people did grow up in environments, and a lot of people didn't grow up in environments. But a lot of people grew up in environments where they were just told, oh, give up on it, who cares? And then they have that luxury of giving up on it. They have the luxury of, oh, I don't have to worry about this anymore because it's a failure. And then instead of working hard, they end up just falling down in the pit. That's their luxury because that's what they've decided to comfort themselves with. A lot of people, myself, did not have the luxury of giving up. We had the pressure to keep moving forward. And this is where you have to decide, where are you at? Are you part of the people that, oh, it's not working out, so I'm just going to give up on it completely? Because you, well, by that term, being labeled a quitter, you would be a quitter. So are you okay with being a quitter, or are you going to keep moving forward? This is what you have to ask yourself. Not being mean, not trying to be mean, not trying to make you feel like you're doing something that you aren't. I'm just pointing out what this energy is doing, and it's all about Mars. And Mars is about your business, your contacts, your you, what you're going to do, your work, right? This is that war that's coming towards you, the war between the past version of you and who you are now. If you're going to continue to go down a path of being a quitter and not putting in effort and just giving up on things, you can do that. But don't be so surprised whenever you're not getting anything in return for quitting, when you just get shunned away more for quitting. That's you that decided to quit. This is what you have to look at. This is the embodiment of evil, your past evil, the things you've already made it through. Don't give up. There's something about really like, why do you keep feeling like you can't do something? Why do you keep feeling like nothing's working out? Why do you keep falling back into that quitter mentality? Like, that's what you really have to understand. Why are you doing that? And that might have been like, oh, everyone quits. Like, everyone doesn't, like, everyone quits doing things. Like, okay, yeah, but why are you quitting your passions? Why are you giving up on your passions, on your dreams? Why are you saying things are too hard and then throwing in the towel because you're unable to see it from another way, right? Some people are not equipped to do this. Some people just genuinely are not able to. And if you're one of those people, that's okay. But I'm just going to tell you right now, like, quitting is not going to get you anywhere in life. It's going to keep you right where you are, and you're just going to be in that same energy of complaining over and over again and not doing anything. That's just the truth of it. You're expecting someone to come save you whenever you're not saving yourself. So why would the divine even come in and save you if you're not going to help yourself? You have to meet them halfway. So why aren't you meeting them halfway? Quitting is not meeting them halfway. Quitting is leaving the whole path entirely, and then they have to wait for you to walk all the way back down it. And this is that point. And this is why I've been talking about all these things for so long, because all these things are really going to start coming to fruition because we're healing. And the healing does not just count things on the spiritual and the physical. Healing also involves a lot to do with like mindsets, the matrix inside of you that you follow. Everything, you know? This is only like, understand that. And I'm getting the whole matrix scene where the woman, where the oracle was there and she was like, "Oh, you're not here to find out what you need to do. You're here to find out why you've already done it." Like, this is this. This is it. Are you figuring out, like, are you ready to quit? Are you ready to give up on something? Are you going to keep going? Right? This is that breaking point for you to really jump into a new cycle. And you have to ask yourself questions like, am I comfortable with doing this? And if it's something that you're deciding to quit because you know it's going to be better for you, and it's not something based, and it's not just you feeling like, oh, it's too exhausting for me, so I have to give up on it. It's something that genuinely is not helping you, right? That's what you have to look out for. That's what you really have to see with cleaner eyes, is what's really benefiting you. If you have a tendency to keep giving up on things and then you decide to give up on this, that's not helping you. That's putting you back into another cycle of toxicity that's going to get you stuck. We have voodoo ritual, which is a potential accident, negative effects, suppression of one's will, moral or physical violence, elimination, negativity, pressure, oppression, obsessive behavior, failure, desiring excessive control of other people's lives, victimization, and heart problems. Now, what's interesting is desiring excessive control of other people's lives. This is sticking out in the sense of saying, I just want people to not do this and do that to me. And then you feeling, and I'm going to call it the way it is. This is how the energy is. It's really an inner stubbornness coming from your inner child, your inner teenager, even, of not being able to do what it wants to do. So you feeling pressured or forced to sit where you're at and unable to move forward in your life from whatever other people are doing in their lives is making you become stubborn and being in this energy of, well, if they're not going to stop, that I can't do anything. Whenever you can do something, you're just choosing not to do it. And then there's the question of, oh, what can I do? You already know what you need to do. You're just not doing it because you're not sitting down long enough and actually asking yourself, what is it that you need to do? You're not actually sitting there and putting in the work and the efforts that you need to do because you're relying on idols and you're relying on, oh, feelings alone. Well, it doesn't matter if you feel it, because guess what else can create feelings? Your mind. And if you're unable to change how you subconsciously feel about yourself, and no matter how much you feel, it's not going to work. It's like getting your arm cut off. Unless you have total control over the feeling of pain, you're not going to be able to tell yourself that it's not going to hurt. The adrenaline's going to help, yeah, whatever. But you're sitting there like, oh, my arm's not hurt, and you look at it and then you faint because your arm is missing, right? That's because you don't have that control. These things are very possible. You can go around. I don't endorse you watching videos of that stuff anyway, but like, people have lost limbs before and have been in a complete state where they're just like, it doesn't bother me, like I don't feel pain. There's people who can do those things for that reason. controlled the environments around them. Not necessarily that, but they've controlled themselves and how they're going to react in certain environments. They've allowed the unknown to just be present and to move around, you know. And as well with the voodoo ritual, with the potential accident, this is that potential accident. Are you going to give up on something that's actually saving you, or are you going to fall into fear? And this is that fear mindset that a lot of people are in. So it's a new year, it's a new you, and this is just really reminding you of that. Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Are you going back to old cycles, or are you trying to move forward? Right? Now, we do have Lord Pingerswick, which is authority, charisma, ambition, passion for challenges, overconfidence, exaggeration of own metrics, a workaholic person, and unexpected solution. There is something coming in, right? But are you willing and are you able to, and you are able, are you willing, right? Are you willing to go through the trials a little bit longer? Are you willing to just sit down and acknowledge that everything is going to be fine? Are you willing to do that for yourself so that whoever you claim to be the Most High can come down and help you with those things? Or are you just going to succumb to the pressure? That's what's really being asked of you right now. There is something coming on the way. You've done everything well. But are you going to let the stress of feeling like a failure, of feeling like something's not going to work out, control you? And then we have Hecate on the bottom. Not on the bottom, it came out. My bad. Let me get to you, darling. All right. So we have patience, a guide through the labyrinth, freedom about emotional ties, attachments, resentments, and habits preventing personal development, the right time to evaluate our behavior and actions, crossroads, dependence on the phases of the moon, dreaming, prophetic dreams, accumulation of wealth and status, fruitfulness, nurturing, synthesis, fertility, willingness to help others, grounding in the life process. There is successful result of hard work, a woman of importance, a helpful woman, and a woman of influence. What I mean, look, it's all there. You're doing everything fine. There's a solution coming. You're just hard on yourself. And oh my god! And on the bottom we have holy waters. And look, as a workaholic, I understand because there's a lot of shit. Listen, and I'll be the first to admit it. You know, I always love to be the first to admit it. Whenever I do a new project, whenever I do something, like for instance, I'm not really one to look at views, but we're going to be completely transparent here because I think being transparent is really just going to help, right? So with the new series I'm doing, right? I have lost 200 subscribers. My views are down. My revenue is a lot less than what it usually is. And that causes a little bit of fear because this is literally how I support myself, right? This is what I do. This is what I was sent here to do. This is my only source of income. This is my only thing that I can do. And seeing such a negative response can definitely cause some fear. But internally, I already know that the people that left are not able to evolve onto this next part of the journey. They would rather sit in their comfort zone. They would rather sit and allow someone else to dictate their life rather than taking control of their own. Or some of those people have already got what they needed to get and they left. Regardless, it has nothing to do with me and my changes and everything to do with them because if they don't like those changes, well, that's their fault. If they don't need that information, well, that's on them and how they want to think, right? Doesn't matter. But that definitely can cause some fear. Does that mean I'm going to give up on the series? No, because that's something that I've put time and effort and work into, right? But the workaholic part of me sees how much work I've put into it, sees how much research, sees how much meditation, how much energy I've actually had to free up, how much mind clearing and all sorts of stuff I've had to do to get to that point to do it. And to see it start off so small is kind of upsetting. It was at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first initial hit was like, damn, that sucks. But I didn't get caught up on it. I released it's like whatever. It's just gonna grow. It just now started. It's gonna grow later on. It doesn't matter, right? That's what you have to understand with it. And that's something that the divine's asking you to do, is just understanding that things are going well. You've been doing everything good. There's just a need to really release that form of, oh, why isn't everyone relating to this? Well, because not everyone is going to relate to it. This could be for you and your projects, or you moving, or whatever, right? However this is. We have holy water, though, which is defense, protection, tranquility, trust, a happy occasion, good health, freedom from unwanted feelings and memories, and purification. So just know everything's going good. There's this energy. It's like you really just have to learn how to trust. There's like trust issues come from the divine, because like trust issues happen a lot, and a lot of people have trust issues with the divine because they don't even trust the divine. They just believe in it. They don't even know what they believe in. So how can you trust something if you don't even know what you're believing in, right? Overstand that. You need to. This is why I talk about it so much. And so many people are like, I don't need to know that. Okay, then just wait till your waking happens, and then you figure out who you were actually praising, or worshiping, or then you find out that the the one that you wanted to call God, that you thought you were worshiping, ends up you weren't even following anything that they were saying, and then you end up having that huge waking moment, right? That's not the fear monger. That's just telling you exactly what's going to happen when we leave this realm. Whatever you were, however you feel about it, whatever you know subconsciously, which your subconscious is based off of lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of experience, what you know deep down inside will come back and bite you in the butt when you pass out, when you wake. So understand that this is just trying to get you on the right path so that you can be aware of these things. Ignorance is not going to save you in this. Not just believing in something alone is not going to save you from it. That's the trap. That's the matrix. That's you going in this cycle. That's the reincarnation cycle. This is the whole point of it. If you don't know where you're going, then where the fuck are you going? You have to ask yourself these questions. And not many people like to. So many people like just hearing, oh, I'm safe because I'm with God. Okay, what if that person's God is Baphomet? What if that person's God is Lucifer? What if that person's God is a serial killer from the fucking 1970s? Now what? Now what have you got yourself into because you didn't look around, because you weren't asking questions, because you weren't even conscious? You were just following orders and being a robot. You have to be aware of these things because this is your life. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But a lot of people in the conscious community are not conscious at all. And they're very unconscious because they just want to follow the path of someone else. Overstand this. This is why the conscious community is pretty doomed. They keep talking about the same thing over and over again. They're unable to actually branch away. They're unable to actually expand who they are. They're stuck in that cycle. And a lot of people are like that. So just really understand this because it's going to help you. Don't let your ego get so caught up on, oh, I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. Because if you knew what you were doing, tell me everything that you're doing right now in this 1 millisecond, your internal system, your external system, everything. Because that's what you're doing. You're not just doing one thing, you're doing a million things. You're doing a lot of things that you're not even aware of because you don't know who you are. You don't know yourself enough. This is the importance of that. This is how you free yourself from all these things so that you can understand what's going on and not be so bound by fear. Here we have. So we have knowledge and boundaries. Something about your boundaries. You need to have maybe you have boundaries against knowing things. Maybe you're just too afraid to know some things. Maybe you're just not, you don't feel like you're ready to know certain things, and that's fine too. But just take time to be aware of that. There was something about, you need to meditate about the new moon. You need to meditate. There's something about the new moon that we had where you were like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to get all these things, right? Meditate on that. Really see what you need to do to get to the places that you're trying to get, because you will get there. You might be dependent on this full moon. You might be feeling like, oh, I need to wait till this full moon because I heard from someone else on this full moon, yada, yada, yada is going to happen. Why do you have to wait till it's the full moon just because someone told you? You can do things before that moon cycle hits. You know that, right? Like, understand these things. Like, I'm not trying to talk down or anything. It's really like there are so many people that don't understand these things, and then they wonder why nothing's working. It's because you're going off of someone else's words that most likely aren't even for you. So just really grasp this. The veil is here to spiritual cleanse your energy. Get rid of things that you don't need to get, that you don't need anymore. Remove trash from your area. Really, really, really get into this new energy of cleansing, of clearing everything around you, so you're not stuck within old cycles. The veil has been lifted, or there's a veil that's been lifted a little bit that the divine is trying to show you how to get to. Right now, you need to use your divine feminine energies because that's your key. Your divine feminine energies, nurturing. What do you need to do? right? Sometimes your divine feminine energy is also taking action, right? What do you actually need to do? Well, I want to do this. I don't really want to do this. I want to do that. Well, use your divine feminine energies to give yourself permission to go ahead and do those things, so that you're not battling against the masculine alone, so that you actually have, and there's the masculine right there. You need to get these two to work together. Your divine feminine, divine masculine, you need to get them to work together. I'm getting the Four of Wands. I'm getting the Two of Cups. They need to communicate. They need to talk together. They need to speak. Allow yourself to speak to yourself like, okay, what do I need to do? What will make me feel very relaxed? What will cause me more? Like, here's the thing. I'll even talk about it like this. Let's say you're getting a new place to live, right? What do you need to do in order to allow yourself to do those steps, though they might be stressful? Nurture yourself. Oh, the situation I'm in right now is even more stressful. So if I go ahead and get this place, that's nurturing yourself. That's giving yourself permission to go down that path of nourishment. And you're like, okay, so if I get that place, I won't have to worry about XYZ. I won't have to worry about payments coming in so quick. I'll have more time to myself, more time to relax. I'll have more space to myself. And then, off of that feeling that you didn't generate from the idea with your divine feminine energy, you then go into the action phase of actually doing the things that you need to do with your divine masculine energy, right? So doing that, really, really getting these things down, communicating with yourself better is really what's going to help you. You have a lot of power, and a lot of people, they get so stuck up on, because this is the whole mentality of victimization. And I used to go through it too in like high school and middle school when I was bullied a lot. I would always look at myself like, oh, something's wrong. People don't like me. I'm being bullied all the time. But it's because you have so much power that so many people have to come up to you and like tear you down because they feel powerless, right? That showing how much power you have. Why does that scare you? Why are you afraid to step into your full power and actually leave these people instead of playing their game and being like, oh, woe is me. I can't do this. I can't do that. Right? Overstand that. Really, really, really grasp that and allow that to um, embody you. Allow that to encompass you. Ask yourself that question. Why am I afraid of just stepping out and doing what I need to do? Why do I like the situations that you're in right now are allowing energies to come in and interfere with it? So if you move away from them, what's going to happen? Moving away physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however, change, evolve so that they can't touch you. Staying in that same energy is only going to let them hurt you and let them get to you and let them seemingly project things to you. And sometimes it's the fact that you aren't moving, and your brain is like, okay, I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna make you think about this, and this is gonna make you want to move again. And though it makes you want to move, it causes that fear of, oh, they're doing things again. Removing that from your cycle, because it's all about the work that you've done with yourself. There is nothing but air energy coming out. We have 5 air and 1 water with the animal deck. Oh my lord. I'm gonna shuffle 2 more times. Oh my lord. 1 more time, spirit. Wow. This has a lot to do with communication. This has a lot to do with movement. This has a lot to do with actually taking those steps forward. Jesus. I like it. I like it though, because it's just showing you that you need to move. It's showing you that you're on the right path. But we have Rabbit, which is afraid of everything, overwhelmed and frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit, they shape your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, good listener. When out of balance, over explains, talks fast. To bring into balance, a day of silence. Always. We have a water. What's this water? We have dolphin. Innately intelligent, healer, light, and blessings. The gifted of dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. The dolphin personality are often drawn to healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact that they make in the world. These creative creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change your entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate profound blessings are on the way. When imbalanced, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates own power to bring into balance like-minded spirits. Keep going forward on what you're doing. I'm telling you, there's a blessing coming around to you. But there's this disbelief that's buried deep inside of you due to past cycles that you're fighting with. So just allow yourself to see where that cycle is coming from and tell it to fucking go home. And where its home is not where it's not where your home. It's not with you. Its home is in the past, where that first incident happened. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk it home, and you're gonna show it the house. You're gonna show it everything that happened, and then you're gonna say, "Stay here. Thank you for showing me everything, but you need to go back to your house because you need your alone time too. And then when we need to come back together for these new future events, we can." Just how it is. The emotions are always going to be the same. The situations are going to be different. And then when your eyes perceive them in a different way, like a different area or a different person, we don't tend to realize that it's the same emotion coming up. It's just a different person. So then we end up going down a whole psychosis cycle instead of just seeing I'm just mad again and it has nothing to do with that person. That's just that same energy is coming up because it has more spots that need to be healed from it. We have camel, which is resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. The camel can handle absolute anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wonderful creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the excess even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel surges inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler, and it's especially fond to trips to faraway lands. When in balance, calm, content, sparkle in the eye. When out of balance, dehydrated and lacks vitality. To bring into balance, a pilgrimage. Now we have a fuck ton of air energy, which I genuinely am like surprised about how much air came out. But like it's beautiful though, because it's just showing you how much you're going to be moving when you do these steps, when you actually allow yourself this freedom, when you fully detach. We have butterfly, undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon. Committing to one daily routine, a meal of practice or prayer, done at the same place and same time, will do wonders for lifting a butterfly spirit. When imbalanced, cheerful and graceful, when out of balance, fragile and frustrated, to bring into balance a daily routine. We have bat, which is darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was visible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. When in balance, accepts, adapts, and adjusts. When out of balance, refuses to let go and reminisces. To bring into balance, watch the sunrise. We have B, earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The B personality is a delight to be around, especially when there is a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. They are artists at the heart, usually adding creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work, then they gripe and then sting. When in balance, content, active, and vibrant. When out of balance, overworked and annoyed. To bring into balance, a mini vacation. We have vulture, guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird has balanced our ecosystem and prevents the spread of diseases. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic and aggressive. To bring into balance, clean your space, and sage. Now we have Peacock, inner beauty, compassion, assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think that it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that its beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this level of advancement, of acceptance of the self and others. When in balance, confident, and kind, when out of balance, can't digest situations, and to bring into balance, meditate on the navel. It's beautiful. We're gonna get the gateway of light activation. I felt called to get these. I don't usually feel called to get these that much anymore, but I felt called to grab them, and then we're gonna go to the archangel power, and then be done. But I wanted to do a little reading to help y'all out. I'm still doing readings. I'm not giving up on them. Like I haven't like stopped, but they're gonna be something that is a lot less different. Just a little bit different. More spaced out, probably longer readings as well. However, but y'all gonna shuffle 3 more times. Y'all are not talking that much, surprisingly. That's okay. But yeah, I'm still doing readings and stuff where it's just not a main focus because we have other things to focus on. But we have third eye activation, brow chakra, inner vision, and clear seeing. So meditating on your third eye, so you can see things more clearly as well, because you're receiving a lot of signs. You're receiving a lot of signs and synchronicities, but you're not paying attention to them. You're taking them for granted when you're really be seeing them for what they really are, which is a direct message to you. Angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe in potent connection. The divine matrix, interconnectedness, synchronicity, and God incidences. And last but not least, Anunnaki light codes. Energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. I'm telling you. Some of you, all your galactical families are supporting you heavily right now and trying to talk to you, but you're so caught up in the mundane that you're not even able to accept or receive their advice that they're giving you, or even their thanks and praises. So really pay attention. Really just take time to ground and relax and meditate, you know? Make a to-do list and do things from that to-do list as well. I'm gonna shuffle 3 more times. Okay. Okay, you're calling to me too, oddly enough. Okay. We got it. We got it. We have the world Archangel Michael. A very happy ending, coming full circle, spiritual growth, and insight. The two of Raphael, two hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful, kindred spirits, and don't give up on those you love. The seven of Ariel. You have invested wisely, have patience, and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. Archangel Uriel with the sun. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and an inspiring success. Archangel Metatron with leap of faith. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself truly. Listen to your heart and do what gives you joy. Archangel Shamuel. Change your life. A sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. And I say trust yourself because the reason why people say, "Oh, I can't trust myself," is because they're not actually connected to themselves. They're connected to something else outside of them. When you fully connect to yourself, you can trust yourself. Until then, you're always going to have like, "Oh, I believe I can do that." Do you know that you can? Trust that you can. You have the idea, so of course you can. You just need to be strong enough to stick through. You have the King of Michael, principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. Wisdom and objectivity are important right now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. The Ten of Gabriel. Ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load, working too many hours and trying too hard to please others. The Five of Ariel. You needn't go through this current challenge alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self fulfilling prophecies. The Nine of Michael, your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome that you desire. Release your feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. Archangel Raguel with justice. Fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor and don't give up. The Seven of Gabriel. Stand up for what you believe in. Have confidence and claim your personal power. Archangel Joaphael with decision. Release yourself from which that holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self confidence. The Knight of Gabriel. Confident, enthusiastic, courageous, and charismatic. Time to take action. Great passion for a cause. Instinctively knowing just what to do. Archangel Metatron with the Chariot. Determination and self control. Career advancement. Acknowledgement of success by others. Archangel Jeremiel the Wheel. New beginnings. End of delays. A change in direction that offers happiness. The Queen of RAL. Mature, practical, generous, and happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. The Two of RAL. It's important to have balance, working multiple jobs or projects at once, making work fun. The Nine of RAL. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success, a love for the beautiful things in life. And last but not least, the Three of Michael. Release the past. You will grow from the situation. Time heals all wounds. So this is y'all's message. Thank you, angels, for being here. Thank you, God, Mother, Father, for being here. Thank you to all the galactical families, the past over loved ones, the spirits and souls, respectfully, and thank you, collective, for being here as well. Um, I'm grateful for doing everything that I can for you all, truly and wholly. Everything's in the description. If you're interested in bracelets, Subliminal 20 was for the code for Spirit Otter. If you're interested in my services, readings, books, whatever you need, one-on-one services, however you have those, be sure to check out the new series that I'm doing for the healing of trauma, because it's going to be very, very beneficial. We're doing, don't expect videos every day for them, but I'm going to try my best to try to get them, depending on how heavy the subject is. May vary for the timings of things, as well as research and all that stuff. But yeah, everything's in the description. Thank you all so much for the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, whether they are energetic or financial. I appreciate them all wholly and truly. But I love each and every one of y'all to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. I'm very grateful and gracious for all y'all being here. I love y'all so much, and I will see you later.